I come in, sir?
Yes, please do.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Please sit down.
Thanks.
You're Mr. Mohammed Imran.
Yes, sir.
Imran, you're comfortable with English as your medium?
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable.
Okay. And I guess you are vaccinated?
Yes.
In that case, please remove your mask. Okay. Let's start with the vaccine only. You said you are vaccinated?
Yes, sir.
Government says 200 crore vaccine doses are given.
Yes, sir.
Going by the mathematics, government is also saying at least 95% have taken at least first dose. Just unravel the mathematics. How many people do you believe have taken only 2 doses? Tough figure.
So 95% of the people, if they are vaccinated for first dose, then 95% of the people,
that is 130 crore.
That is 130 crore. That would be 130 crores. For out of 200 crores, 130 crores people are they have been vaccinated for the first dose, and then the remaining people, they have already vaccinated for the second dose as well. So we can say 70 crores of the people, they have been vaccinated for both the doses.
You're assuming that nobody has taken the booster dose?
If we are calculating that, that is a variable. I was assuming that only 2 things are there, 2 doses are there in the picture.
Okay. Mohammed Imran,
yes,
introduce yourself without giving me your name, caste, community thing.
I'm a computer science engineering graduate from IIT Delhi, and then after that I worked for 4 years in Rivigo Services Private Limited. Then I decided to prepare for civil services, and at the end of 2019, that is beginning of 2020, I started preparing for civil services with mathematics as my optional. My hobby is programming.
So Imran, you did your computer science from IIT Delhi.
Yes, sir.
And you were well placed when it comes to the computer science thing.
Yes, sir.
What pushed you out of that?
I was working very well in the company, but the domain that I was working in, it has certain limitations. So I was looking for more diversity in the work, and civil services was a platform wherein I could find more diverse work, and the impact of the work that I could do, that is pretty much visible directly in civil services. So that
is mathematics again.
Yes.
If you were drawing around 3 lakh rupees per month, there's a salary.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to work for 25% of that salary around. Effectively means that 75% of your inner self will be discontent.
The money was not a variable for my contention, because the money that earned, it has, like, I will be earning basic minimum amount of money that will be sufficient for me to live in civil services as well. The motivation, prime motivation for me was to work for the people. I will have a life wherein I'll be happy at the end of the day by working for people around me or for the people of the country. And the impact that I will have, it will give me a sense of happiness at the end of the day.
Okay. You've taken mathematics as your optional. Okay. There's this very, I think, first or second topic in your syllabus must be calculus.
Yes, sir.
Why calculus is called calculus?
I have not thought about it, sir, but I would, with your permission, if I have to guess. Calculus is a method of calculating different things. It is a method of summation over discrete things. Then we get a combined output of over a large set of particles or large set of examples, we can say, and then we get an area or volume or something like that. So it is a calculation over different discrete events. So if
why should it then be called calculus was the question. You defined calculus in your way. That was not the question. Why calculus is called calculus?
I'm not able to correctly come at any conclusion.
You want to become a civil servant in Uttar Pradesh, and recently in UP, the question of population policy was in news. And the Honorable Chief Minister seems to be worried that the population measures, the impact of population measures is differential in terms of different communities, right? it appears that he was a little worried about it. Tell me again, what is the mathematics of it? Do you believe that the reduction in the TFR in case of a community A and in case of the majority is so different that it can be a cause of worry, or it's just the politics that's being played? You have data, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. The reason for TFR, that is total fertility rate, being different vis-a-vis different communities, it depends on various socio-economic indicators. So that is said. Then there is a report of UN Population Fund, recently it was published. It said that any coercive method of population control won't be sufficient or won't be successful. For example, we have seen one-child policy or two-child policy of China. So the proper way, we have already a policy of national policy on population control. And if you are talking about the two different communities, let's say minority communities there, then the amount of TFR decrease that has been seen in one community, that has already been more than the amount of TFR decrease that has been seen in the other community. So we can say that the existing policy and with the existing policy, there has to be an involvement of women empowerment, and we have to tackle on the front of education as well. So these other dimensions
Thank you.
would.
So,
Imran.
Yes, sir.
Why the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, former Prime Minister, he was voted out? Like, what went so wrong?
Sir, I have read, but I'm not able to recall right now.
Okay. So, the politicians there, while removing him from office, they said that we want Purana Pakistan. So, what is Purana Pakistan? And why this phrase was used?
Sorry, sir, again, I don't.
Okay, not a problem. You have maths as your optional.
Yes, sir.
So, recently the Fields Medal
Yes,
has been awarded to 4 people. And one of this, one of the awardees is from Ukraine.
Yes, sir.
So, do you think it has something to do with the Russia-Ukraine crisis, or it has been awarded on merit only?
Yes, sir. Definitely, it has been awarded on the merit only to the woman Marina Varjovska, and she also told her story, like when she was at her childhood, she was inspired by mathematics, and during the war period as well, she is teaching some of the women candidates over there to have certain qualities of mathematics.
And in which field she has worked?
She has worked in sphere packing in 8th dimension, 24 dimension.
Okay. And if we talk about the top mathematics prize in India, which is that?
It is Ramanujan prize, and then sir, I am not able to recall any prize.
Fine. And India has been following a policy of strategic autonomy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But it is seems to be very similar with our policy of non-alignment.
Yes,
is there a difference, or it is like old wine in new bottle?
There is slight difference of when we say there is a difference between strategic autonomy and non-alignment movement. Non-alignment movement was started in the era of Cold War in Bandung Conference, and then strategic autonomy with the as we can see in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and we have to balance China as well as Russia.
So it was balancing then, it is balancing now?
Yes, we are balancing, but we have a certain interest. So we are strategic autonomy is ensuring our core national interest without being affected by other countries.
But same was being accomplished by non-alignment, don't you think?
But there was there was not any angle of military or we can say in a non-aligned movement we were seen as a country.
Or we have moved to something called multi-alignment.
We are as per we can say the statement of M.E. Jaishankar, we have been moving to issue-based coalition.
Okay. Imran, tell me which parties are in power in Uttar Pradesh? It's a coalition government.
It's
BJP-led coalition.
It's BJP-led coalition. Sorry, sir.
Let me tell you, Apna Dal and Nishad Party are also part of it. Now tell me, Nishad Party the Nishad is actually a acronym. Can you give me the full form?
Sorry, sir.
Thank you.
Imran.
Yes, sir.
Imran, perhaps you may be aware of the victory of Mrs. Murmu
Yes, sir.
as the office of the president. Are you aware?
Yes, sir, I'm aware.
How many votes she has received?
While coming for the interview, I just got the notification that the counting is still going on and she was leading by huge margin.
Almost 540 votes. Anyways, can you tell me what is the total quantum of the votes that has been there for voting? Total value of the votes.
Total value of the votes, exact number I don't know, but the formula basis which it is calculated,
Okay.
I am aware of that.
All right. What is inflation, Imran?
Inflation is sustained increase in the level of price for a given basket of commodities over a period of time.
Okay. There, in general, there are the two sort of the inflation. That is, what are those?
There are two measures of inflation.
No, like demand push and
Okay,
cost
cost push
Yes.
and demand pull.
Yes. Which are those? Like the sub factors which are responsible for either demand push or the cost push. Cost push.
Cost push, we can say, if the wages of laborers are
Which kind of the inflation you are right now witnessing here in India?
right now, there are like just after COVID, there have been supply constraints. Though it is cost push inflation.
Have you heard of the term stagflation also?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Stagflation is when there is a sustained increase in inflation and there is a lack of employment combined to that, then we term it as a stagflation.
How the phenomenon of shrinkflation affects the household economy of a citizen?
By shrinkflation, we say that with the amount of price, there will be a decrease in the quantity that we are getting. Then on a normal household, the phenomena of shrinkflation would be they would have lesser amount of money for out-of-pocket expenditure for their basic needs, because in, let's say, X amount they were
in recent, did you experience this kind of shrinkflation?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Like
when I used to,
with example?
I used to go for the evening tea and then have Maggie. Then the evening cups for the tea have been reduced for the same amount of money. And then
I got it. You were a computer science graduate and professional also. So tell me, data protection law, which was like mulling over in terms of introducing in the parliament.
Yes.
Still, it has not been introduced. So the reasons which are constraining and what government is mulling over that, why it is being delayed?
The main contention in the data protection bill, as recommended by B.N. Sri Krishna committee, is
B.N. Sri Krishna, right?
Yes, sir. So the main contention is we are saying that data has to be first of all, there has been 3 categorization of data, and within that categorization, the critical data has to be within India, and then sensitive personal data can be replicated, but it can be taken outside. So the companies that are the digital the MNCs that are involved in these.
You wanted to say, like, we have to strike down a balance between the privacy rights and ease of doing business. Something like you wanted to
something
suggest?
like that. There is an issue of.
So these are the basic reasons behind
basic
that.
Reasons, yes.
Okay. You being mathematics, you're optional. How do you calculate the unemployment?
Unemployment per se as being calculated by PLFS survey. So that is the unemployment data that we have currently is
which the particular agency you mentioned about it?
Periodic labor force survey, and this is calculated
recently. It
by
has been like some concern have been expressed about it's the authenticity of the data.
Yes, sir.
Why?
I think I'm not able to correctly recall it, but I have to take a guess. So with your permission, can I?
Yeah, sure.
So there have been issues with the measurement of the data, like the data that have been collected from the people. The measurement have been changed, and
okay. Last one from my side, Imran. Imran, can you recall, leader in the freedom struggle movement, who was also a mathematician?
No, sir.
No.
I don't recall.
In the Constituent Assembly, no one comes.
No,
into
sir.
that.
No, sir. No one comes to my mind right now.
Imran, you did mention women getting this Fields Medal thing.
Yes, sir.
When we talk about Indian education system, it is generally seen that the women in all over India, also in UP, they lag behind in STEM.
Yes, sir.
Why is it so, and do you think that NEP addresses this issue?
Yes, sir. NEP at some.
Why is it so, and tell me how you believe that NEP addresses it?
In India, as we have, there is a phenomena of in the society of India is patriarchal. So we prefer male child over female child in every sense of opportunity that a parent gives. So this phenomena is slowly being tackled by the evolution of society. So with when it gets to the opportunity of a schooling, then the male son is given the opportunity of getting a good coaching, good tuition, good school, for say, let's say English medium school. Then the female child is left behind, and then there is a double burden of studying and then doing household chores.
What it has to do with mathematics? I mean, if it is the case, then it should be with everything. But we do see a reasonable number of women in medical colleges, but not so in engineering colleges, not so in mathematics. I mean, patriarchy is truth. I mean, that we cannot deny that, but probably it has something else.
There is an attitude of women as well, like these kind of fields are not good for women. Like people, some of the families, they treat like art and crafts. This is not a modern mindset. This has been.
How do you believe NEP is addressing it?
NEP is not discriminating any child per se gender, and it is giving avenues to change based on a credit system. It is giving an opportunity to any male or female candidate to pursue the course in which she or he wants to continue.
Mohammed Imran, you have mentioned that you like programming. What is the difference between an interpreter and a compiler?
Interpreter is it detects the syntax and semantics as well, and compiler, when a piece of code is given, it compiles and then a byte code is generated. Based on that, it generates the output.
Okay, you can look at it a little further. But anyway, what is the difference between a Java and a JavaScript? Is it the same thing or
no? It is different. Mostly we use Java in backend development, like writing code, preparing some algorithm for any complex things. And JavaScript is mostly used in user interface support.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There's been interesting talk about use of programming in AI, which is very evident.
Yes, sir.
At the same time, there are people who believe the use of AI in programming.
Yes, sir.
Can you just unravel this gambit? The use of programming in AI and the use of AI in programming.
So the first thing is, programming in AI is the development of AI that we as a developer do. And then there are piece of redundant codes. Let's say when we speak, or just the way I came in, I addressed you. So these are the things which are like certain piece of code or certain things which has to be done repetitively. In some or the other language, there are depending on the context, the piece of code differentiates or differs. So the AI in programming is the way to enable those piece of code and the future suggestions or the future lines of code that we are going to write. So it enables that. So one way is programming in AI is enabling AI, and AI in programming is enabling programmers.
Fine, Mohammed Imran, it was nice talking to you. The interview is over, you can go now.
Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir?
जी आइए. Take a seat.
Thanks.
इमरान, 25 तारीख को इंटरव्यू?
Yes, sir.
हिंदी ठीक है आपकी?
Yes, sir.
हिंदी में बात कर लेंगे, कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं होगी?
हाँ सर, हिंदी में कोई समस्या नहीं होगी.
Fine, Imran, and it is going to be your first interview at the IAS?
हाँ सर
पहली बार है
जी
You are happy with your performance today or you believe that it could have been a little better?
जी ज़रूर इससे बेहतर हो सकता था।
किन एरियाज में?
जैसे उत्तर प्रदेश के बारे में जो अभी सरकार है वो मुझे नहीं पता, वो बेटर होना चाहिए था। और उसके बाद कुछ जो कॉन्टेक्चुअल या फिर थिंकिंग बेस्ड सिचुएशनल क्वेश्चंस थे, जैसे वुमेन इन स्टेम, दैट हैज़, वो थोड़ा और अच्छा होना चाहिए था। और इस तरीके की एक दो और चीज़ें जो सर अभी रिकॉल नहीं हो रही।
And you are happy the way you communicated or you believe that you can be a little better and as far as communication is concerned?
कहीं कहीं पे सर आई फंबल्ड, सो उस पर मुझे काम करना चाहिए।
See, Mohammed Imran, in general, you're a wonderful guy.
ओके सर।
It is very clearly visible that the institution you have studied from and the exposure you got in the industry, that has done well to your personality. So overall your personality is good and it appears that you're an insightful person.
Okay.
And the board will be very quick to see. So that way it's going to be interesting interview with you.
Okay.
But there are a few things you can work on, especially in the communication front. I'll have a few advice. One is, see, in general you carry yourself well, your personality is good. But sometimes it appears that in communication you have a few vigorous movements, like the movement of your neck is a little bit more,
Okay.
and it appears a little informal sometimes. Similarly, you had a lot of hand movement. Once you get engrossed into a particular thing, and especially if it is technical, you forget that you are sitting in a formal interview, right? So you have a lot of hand movement there. So hand movement can be curved. Even otherwise, you have this clasping stance. We generally suggest not to have this. So sitting like this would have been a little better. Okay. Similarly, there was this eye contact issue at few places, and sometimes you need to understand, especially if you're see, it applies to every question, but especially when you're talking about the technical things. So if a board member is asking something, he's expecting your attention, right? And this is most natural for any person to talk. But if you have multiple eye contacts, or if you break the eye contact from the person you're talking to and start having eye contact with somebody else, you're basically making uneasy both. Okay. And especially if it is a technical question, if it is a specific thing, then it becomes really odd, because the board member is actually expecting you to have eye contact, right? So thumb rule is, look at the person you're talking to. Okay. This is such a simple thing, right? I'll advise you to follow that. Other things in general are good. At a few places it also appeared that sometimes you're not reaching to the core intent of the board member in the first attempt. Okay. So that you can work. I'm giving this relatively a long feedback because you're a wonderful candidate. So I don't see why you shouldn't get very, very good marks. So try and incorporate these suggestions if you can. Other things in general are very good. Your name is Imran, though name is not discussed there, but there can be a situation where the name come out. So looking at Imran and other Imran Khan and all would have been a little better. Similarly, since you're a mathematics person, you've taken mathematics. Generally, mathematics candidates get a lot of economic data questions. Okay, sir. So make sure that you prepare those. Right? So you should be good at numbers. It should appear that you are able to recall numbers, right? Other things are in place. I'm sure you'll do very, very good as far as the interview is concerned. Rest is, I don't know how you have done in mains. That will be the deciding thing, right?
Yes, sir.
All the best.
सर कुछ क्वेश्चंस अगर मुझे पूछना तो सर, जैसे यूपी के नेम चेंज के इश्यूज होते हैं, तो उसमें इन जनरल कैसा टेक होना चाहिए हमारा? It's a UP interview, so don't take any stand which is absolutely vertically opposite to the stand of the government. You can clearly say if there is a demand, there is no harm as such. So it shouldn't be given unnecessary. It should not be a policy priority for the government as such. But if it is done, there is no big harm in it. I mean, since it's a UP thing, right? और सर जैसे अभी कुछ कंटेंशियस इश्यूज जैसे ज्ञानवापी मास का है,
होने को आ सकता है, but then obviously you need to balance your judgment. Okay, sir. I won't advise you to do anything radical in the UP. That will not
UP specific thing. Okay,
right? All the best.
Thanks.